Hello, Discover and Recover Yoga people. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Yes, so there was a little hiatus for the month of August. Now we're relaunching or launching again in this early part of September, but August did hold some unique opportunities for my partner Paul and I as we were ensconced and really into the community of hominins, Western Austria, and all that came with that, which was fresh air, fresh water, good food, swimming in the Rhine, doing a lot of biking, a lot of hiking, practicing some yoga. And interesting enough, we signed up for 2 sessions at some studios in the local towns we were nearby, but they were closed. I think some businesses closed for the month of August in certain parts of Europe, and it happened to be that way for the yoga studios. But we had our own practice, did some sightseeing, and just had a great time, just being in a different environment, experiencing a different culture. And glad to be back. There's been about a week or so, maybe a little longer than that, for this kind of re-entry. Noticing still a lot of shifts going on in our communities and around the world, whether it be Mother Nature with natural disasters. So it would be remiss if I didn't at this moment just acknowledge the challenges, the extreme tragedies and trauma that's happening in the northwest region of Africa and Libya and Morocco. So perhaps during the course of this practice, there could be some thoughts, some ideas, some prayers for those who are going to be continuing to experience the utmost in trauma when it's related to what Mother Nature brings. Then there's other shifts, the changing of jobs, the shifting of relationships. I just think there's some of this energetic component happening worldwide. So glad you guys are here to discover whatever. I'm thinking this particular theme for this particular session is love, discovering what we can do to find more self-love, more compassion, more love of those in our midst. And this book has been coming to my attention a bit lately. I don't know if you can see this, Worthy of Love. It comes from Hazelden, the publisher, and it just hit my radar screen, popped up, and it fell out of my desk the other day. So discovering ways to love ourselves better, ways to express love, ways to experience love. So that would be a focal point for discovering this aspect of our lives. And then, as we recover from, maybe a lack of self-love, maybe we recover from relationships in the past, relationships current, whatever. Let's see if we can use the practice and the breath to help us to do that, just to find ways to recover from that area, from areas around self-acceptance, self-love, and that such a thing. So it is beginning in child's pose. So it is a restorative posture, so nothing to overthink or overanalyze, but certainly the big toes come to the touch towards the back of the mat. The knees are drawn out wide. This is the classic restorative posture. Feel free, if you'd like, at any point during the course of this session, to come into child's pose. Reaching, you can activate child's pose a little more by spreading the fingers wide or reach a little further to the front edge of the mat. Just become aware how the knees and the hips are responding, and just letting that chest and chin melt to the mat. If the forehead readily makes it to the mat as well, wonderful. If not, you can place one palm on top of the other, one hand on top of the other, and let that forehead nestle on the back of the hand, or stack the fists. So coming into this restorative posture early, just beginning to launch into the session, and observing how the body is showing up, how the knees and hips are responding, maybe a little shoulder shimmy, maybe, again, spread the fingers a little wider. So as you become more aware how you are in the physical body. And again, one of my favorite things is to shout out and recognize these vehicles, this posture, this container, which are our bodies. Thank you for the physical bodies that we have. As you turn the attention to the breath, another acknowledgement of deepening the inhales and lengthening the exhales, acknowledgement of the breath practice. I'm going to suggest you let exhale go out through the mouth these first few times. We'll transition in a bit to nostril only. Or rich and deep on the inhale. And the exhale can release any unnecessary stiffness, any additional tightness, anything that's bound up through any portions of the body. Let the exhale just be that subtle release. Now, here's the suggestion, D&R Yoga folks, is take both hands over to the right side. So you'll feel that left getting a little heavy towards left heel. Once you have some expansion along the left side body, an opportunity to float the right hand down by the side of the body. It may nestle down by the right foot. The other option is to bend the right elbow and bring the back of the right hand up towards the lumbar, maybe even mid-back. It just depends on shoulder flexibility. So if you'd like to work on that shoulder girdle a bit as you roll the back of the right hand up the spine a bit, feel free. Otherwise, if that creates too much tension or too much pinching into the shoulder girdle, just let the hands be down on the side. We hold here for 3. You guys breathing into that for 2. Now, please, let's release, come through center, and let's travel over to the left side. So same thing, other side. Similarly, once you're set up over there, the left hand can continue journeying down by the side of the body or bending the left elbow. The back of the left hand lands at the lumbar. Maybe it comes up that spine a bit. I've got a couple of students that bring it between the shoulder blades. There's just a huge shoulder flexibility. So mindful, we're no competition, no judgment. We're going to create a space in this virtual setting that's competition-free, judgment-free. Nice. We'll hold here for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, please, let's return back to your original position in child's pose. There is another opportunity to table tent the hands. Send all 10 fingertips, all 8 fingertips and thumb tips. I know there's a climber on the session, and strengthen the digits is important. When you're doing rock climbing, but it's also important for grip strength. Strength, and grip strength, according to Dr. Peter Atera in his book Outlive, which I'm listening to on Audible. Grip strength is a precursor to longevity. All right, eventually, yes, you bring the palms back to the mat. And then let's go ahead and draw ourselves up to table. That would be the inhale. And yes, you have that nostril breathing, that ujjayi breath, and there's rationale behind that. We want to build lung capacity and lung endurance, as we will enter these cooler months into the winter months, with the proverbial, ailments that come with the weather changes for some, whether it's a flu or a cold or a sniffle or hopefully nothing more than that. Maybe some allergies, those who might be affected by fall ragweed, but keeping the lungs healthy, keeping the lungs pliable and really strong. So that's that nostril breathing can help us do this. Inhaling for cow, exhale for cat. So classic cat-cow. Inhale, dips the navel low, lifts the gaze. I have very little range of motion in cow, but I can get a little deeper in cat as I draw the chin towards chest and feel a nice expansion across the shoulder blades, the upper back. So this is the motion. Each breath initiates one of the movements. Inhaling initiates cow. Exhale will initiate cat. Let's keep going for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. Here's 2. You've got last one, and you're neutral. You're back to that neutral table. Extending this right leg to the back of the mat. I'm going to do a good job. I'm not lifting that right hip. I'm going to see if I can keep the right hip in alignment with the left. When the left arm comes forward, so it's as if I'm reaching out to shake hands with my left hand, thumb towards the ceiling, right heel is up. Right toes are down. Inhale to find a little more length, but as you exhale, bring left elbow to right thigh. Pin tucks in. Inhale to lengthen. So that's our motion. Exhale, we punch or condense. Elbow to thigh, chin to chest. So this is warming up the core a bit. Inhale, you find some length in what some call bird dog or maybe spinal balance. Exhale is the condensing as we go for 4. That's each breath is going to guide you on this. Breathing into that for 3. Here we go for 2. At your own pace. Last one. But once again, unless you know so, let's pause Yes, chin towards chest, elbow towards thighs. We hold for 3. Maybe a little wobbly, that's okay. Maybe that right wrist stays right underneath the right shoulder for 2. And then I want you back to table. All right, those who are familiar with my practice, I like to, between some postures, to give my body a little reset. Now it's the left leg extends back, hip is in line, left hip is in line with right hip, right arm forward. Okay, so once that's established, inhale to lengthen, exhale, elbow to thigh. Inhale, extends, exhale, condenses. That's beautiful. That's your motion. Let the breath guide you as we go for 4. That's it, breathing steady into that for 3. Here's 2. Okay, the last one, I'd like you to have right elbow to left thigh, tuck the chin in towards the chest and find some stillness if you can for 3. Ooh, yeah, almost there for 2. Now 1, we're back to hands and knees. Good job, guys. Little reset. Spread the fingers really wide, suction cup those palms to the mat. Toes will top, hips will lift, and we're hanging out upside down. First downward dog. Maybe the first time your head's been below the heart today. So take advantage of this. Let some blood come into the brain. If you need a reset, you can always come back onto hands and knees. Right, so I'm pedaling through the soles and the balls of feet. I'm going to move the head a bit like it's on a swivel. I'm just going to protect the higher energy centers, the head movement. Yes, beautiful. Experiment. Maybe take the feet out wide. Maybe even the hands come out wide. So just do some exploration in your first downward dog. But eventually, let's come into some stillness. Chest towards thigh, gaze towards the belly button. Inhale to the tiptoes. As the exhale, bend both knees, look between the thumbs, let's walk it, step it to the top of the mat, standing forward fold. Keys, fingers are mat or palms to shins, let's half lift. Exhale, we'll fold it back in. Okay, once again, palms to shins, draw the crown of the head forward, lengthen from the tailbone to the tip of the crown of the head. Exhale, we'll fold it deep. Arms are coming out like wings, reverse swan dive. Is going to take us to standing. The palms meet above the crown of the head. Oh, my head is cut off. I'll bring that just in just a bit. Hands to the heart center. Hands to the heart center. If there is a purpose for this practice, again, maybe sending some healing energy to those regions in this world, around this country, still in Hawaii, recovering from the wildfires. So just lots of transitions are taking place. Perhaps it's the idea of discovering ways to share love, show love, express love. The ultimate, the universal, love language. And it's it can really be a healer. It can really be a thing that can create solidarity in relationships, but it begins with self. Now, please, let's sweep those arms wide and high. Palms are going to kiss, and as you exhale, chair pose, top of the mat. So just introducing easy chair pose. You can draw the booty back, still able to see the knees underneath the toes underneath the knees. Inhale may lengthen a bit more, but as you exhale, draw to the heart center, a little tap in at the heart space, but eventually right elbow to left thigh. Right elbow to left thigh. Option is to extend that right arm to the outside of that left calf and the left arm to the sky. That's an option. Otherwise, I've got hands at the heart centers. We hold for 3. Static twist, breathing into that for 2. Now 1, come back to center. I'm pressing the palms together. Exhale, now it's left elbow to right thigh. Option is to take that left arm down and the right arm to the sky. Otherwise, hands stay at the heart centers. We hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now 1, back to center, please. Re-straighten the legs. Revisit Samastiti here, a little blending of breath, body and soul, top of the mat. Lifting the 10 toes. So Dr. Peter Otero is talking about toe yoga. So all 10 toe pads are off of the mat, and I'm going to just put my toe pads, just the big toes. I'm going to try to keep the other 8 toe pads lifted off the mat. It's kind of hard to do, but see what happens as we work the other end of the body. The foundation will hold for 3. Breathing exhale for 2. And the feet will relax. Inhale, we'll strip the arms once again wide and high. Eye touch with ears, and revisit chair. Nice. Opportunity to notice the heels grounded, the toes lifted, but eventually you can reconnect all 10 toe pads back to the floor. So we hold for 3. Let's maybe sink a little deeper. Hello, quadriceps, breathing into that for 2. Now, 1, let's twist it to the right. Left hand front, right hand back. A little twist to the right. And then back to center. Now it's left hand, right hand front, left hand back. Twist to the left. Back to center. One more time. Twist it to the right, please. Back to center. Twist it to the left. Back to center. And then just gently forward fold. Peace fingers matter. Palms of shins half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. Beautiful, guys. Nice. So let's do this. If you feel like you're warmed up enough for D&R Yoga, people maybe hop it back. Otherwise, just walk it back to that position. First power pose. And then chin here. If you feel like you want to get a yogi push-up or 2, feel free. Otherwise, we'll hold in this position for 3. As you engage, draw the navel towards the spine, breathing into that for 2. Now, on 1, knees lower. Flatten chest and chin between the thumbs. So I'm going to lower chest and chin between the thumbs. My hind quarters, my booty is to the ceiling. Inhale, draws the heart through. Let's find cobra or up dog. Exhale, I'm going to bend the knees, the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. To recenter yourself, realign, readjust. Okay. When you're ready, right leg lifts. As you exhale, bring right knee towards chin or chest. A little rounding through the upper back. Inhale, extend it back out. One more time. Exhale, right knee towards chin or chest. Inhale, back out. On this exhale, right foot between the thumbs. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. That left foot, and each rising up warrior 1. So feet are on a railroad track. Not a balance beam as I attempt to draw my left hip forward and my right hip back. Biceps by the ears, heart lifts. With a lot of energy on the edge of that left foot as we hold here for 3. Beautiful, breathing into that for 2. Now, I'm just going to open it up into warrior 2. That's probably going to mean an adjustment of that right foot to come into alignment, right heel to alignment with that left instep. Yeah, so I'll just try. Beautiful. So from warrior 1 to warrior 2, inhale as exalt. Right hand goes high, left hand goes low. Maybe that left hand wraps around a little back. Maybe it slides down the left leg as we hold for 3. Beautiful, breathing into that for 2. I want to return back to the warrior 2, please. Inhale, I'm going long through the fingertips as I exhale. Right forearm to right thigh, and that left arm is going to bisect that left ear. Opportunity to spin upper left ribs a little higher towards the ceiling. Another opportunity to bring this right arm out to meet the left if you'd like to intensify that. Otherwise, forearm stays to thigh. We hold for 3. Nice steady breath, long line of energy from the middle finger on the left hand to the outer edge of that left foot for 2. Now 1, let's release and frame that front foot. I like to lift that left heel, some like to keep it grounded. Right foot comes back, high push up, goes to low push up. Inhale, finding up dog or cobra. It's our first chaturanga. Exhale, back to the downward dog. Beautiful, guys. Thanks. So, reset upside down. Explore, experiment, discover what happens in this downward dog until left leg lifts. Nice. As you exhale, you guessed it, left knee towards chin or chest. Inhale, back out. One more time. Exhale, left knee tucks in. Inhale, back out. Here we go. Left foot to the top of the mat. Lunge. However you want to get that left foot there. You can do that with the right knee down, but eventually the right knee lifts. Right foot anchors, and we rise on up. Warrior 1 on this side. Again, railroad track with the feet. Right hip is attempting to draw forward. Left hip is attempting to draw backwards. Biceps by the ears. Maybe the gaze lifts. Oh, yeah. Beautiful, guys. Warrior 1, very powerful postures. We hold for 3. Nice breathing, steady into that for 2. And here we go. We're going to eat that into warrior 2. There's maybe a heel towing of down left foot. Left arm forward, right arm down. Inhale, exalt. Right hand high and right hand low, left hand high. Classic exalted warrior. We'll hold for 3. Big opening along that left side body. Maybe that right hand floats a little further down the right leg for 2. Nice. Now let's release it back out to the warrior 2, please. Okay, soft through the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen through the digit. Here we go through the digits. Now left forearm finds left thigh, and right arm is going to bisect right here. Upper right ribs can maybe spin a little higher towards the ceiling, towards the sky, as we open up that heart chakra. Left arm can come out to meet. If you'd like to extend that, intensify that as we hold for 4. Long line of energy, right middle finger to outer edge of that right foot for 3. That's nice, almost there for 2. Now on 1, let's release, framing that left foot. Left foot comes back to meet the right foot, high to low. Inhale, what's up, dog? Exhale, outward facing dog. So you're hanging upside down again. Child's pose. I'm just coming out to my knees, but please listen to your body. It's the death indicator. So you get to once again pedal, release, relax, unwind. Okay. Let's do this. Inhale to press the mat with the back at the top, but as you exhale, walk the hands backwards. So let's find ourselves to the back of the mat, forward folding. Of late, we've been doing this little bind. So I'm going to go ahead and touch my feet in a little closer as I deeply bend my knees. Right forearm behind right thigh, left forearm behind left thigh, opposite hand to opposite elbow, maybe opposite hand, opposite forearm, chin towards chest, belly towards thigh. And you've got a little bind going on. We'll take this for 3. You guys nice, almost there for 2. 1, let's release it, re-straighten the legs and with the arms heavy, roll up the spine. Take your time, please. Stacking one vertebra on top of the other. For wardrobe check. Mountain pose, back of the mat. Mountain pose, back of the mat. Breath in, big breath out. Okay, here we go, D&R Yoga, folks. The left foot to the center of the mat. Right heel in front of left toes. So you are now indeed on a balance beam. Right heel in front of left toes. Opportunity to create a firm foundation here on this balance beam. You're going to get some equal weight on the front right foot and the back left foot. Inhale, the arms will go wide and high. Maybe the gaze follows. And so let's twist it to the left. Right hand front to left hand back. Right hand is front, left hand is down. Oh, yeah. Now coming back to center. Yeah. Twist it to the right. Left hand front, right hand back. Beautiful. Okay, back to center. And then go ahead, release the hands down the sides and bring that left foot up. You're maybe sorting towards the middle, right? Okay. So now it's the foot to the center of the mat. You got the left heel next to the right toes. Beam on this side. So let's create that firm foundation. Down alignment. Minimizing that forward head tilt. And then when you're ready, the arms will lift. And maybe gaze to the ceiling, to the sky, close the eyes. Well, let's twist it right. Left hand front, right hand back. Left hand front, right hand back. Yeah. Feeling that. I'm trying to keep those hips a little bit square to the top of the mat. Now come back to center. That's why I can't get the hips to square, and my hips are all messed up. Do you guys remember? Now it's twisted to the left. Right hand is front, left hand is back. It's beautiful. And then back to center. And then please uncross or going back probably towards the middle of the mat. And just go ahead and make your way to the top. Mountain pose, top of the mat. Inhale, we'll sweep the arm blind high, maybe a little baby back bend. Find those beautiful hearts. And as we excellent swan dive, flat back, forward fold. Oh yeah. You guessed it. Peace change matter, palms to shins, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Step or hop to the back of the mat. High push up. Goes to low push up. Inhale, we revisit up dog or cobra. On the exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes. Go back to the downward dog. Oh yeah. All is well. A lot of energy to the top of the mat. See what it can do to draw those heels a little lower towards the back of the mat as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, once again, on 1, inhale to the tiptoes. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Peace wings ladder, palms to shins, let's half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. Arms out like wings. Let's reverse swan dive. We'll come to standing. As you exhale, hands to the heart center. Okay. From the top of the mat, put all the way into that right foot. I'm going to find eagle legs. I'm going to wrap this left foot around my right ankle. I can't quite get the wrap. If you can wrap that left foot around the right ankle, right Achilles, you also have the option to bring that left foot through the mat. A little back for a little supported there. Arms out like wings, but eventually left arm sweeps underneath right, eagle arms. That's uncomfortable. You can draw the hands to the shoulders. Maybe bend into that right knee, maybe a little deeper bend into that right knee as we soften the shoulders. Beautiful guys. I love eagle postures. We hold for 4. Working on that foundation into that right foot, breathing into that for 3. That's nice. Almost there for 2. Now, 1, I'm going to undo everything as I slowly draw this left foot to the back. You can do that by brushing it upon the mat or find traditional warrior 3. Arms come forward. If it's feels more comfortable, you can draw the arms down to the side, completely to a plain posture. So not go bend to that standing right leg. Hold for 3. That's breathing into that for 2. Now 1, left foot lowers to meet the right. You're back to mountain pose, top of the mat. Okay. Everything resets, realigns. Wait to that left foot. I'm gonna wrap my right foot around my left. My right ankle wraps, well, doesn't quite, but if you get the wrap, wonderful. You can do the kickstand version again. Arms out like wings, but eventually right arm sweeps underneath left. Eagle arms, hands to shoulders if that feels more comfortable. A little bigger bend or a deeper bend perhaps into that left knee. Shoulders remain soft. How about that foundation you're building on that left foot? Oops. Here we hold for 4. Nice breathing into that for 3. All is well, almost there for 2. Now 1, I'm going to purposely unfold and brush that. Take that right leg to the back. Airplane posture or traditional warrior 3 as you draw the arms forward. So you have choices. Standing leg is going to have a slight bend to it. Nice job. Beautiful guys. Yep. Keep come out of it. Just a chance to start again. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. With control, let's lower it back down. Mountain pose, top of the mat. Big breath in and big breath out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and straddle my mat. Like in a wide-legged stance, and you can just take those feet out as wide as you'd like. Hands on the hips, and we're just going to find that little goddess squat. So I've got my knees trying to travel over the tops of my feet, dipping my big booty low, avoiding this forward tilt. So I'm going to try to keep my ears and shoulders stacked up to the hips, and I'm just going to do a little movement from side to side. Just a little movement from side to side. Maybe sink a little lower. Maybe those thighs can go to parallel. I can't quite get there with these hips I've got. Maybe you can find that as we hold for, we rock for 4. Fellow quads for 3. With breathing into that for 2. That 1. Re-straighten the legs. Fingertips to the earth. Hips to the sky. Forward fall. I'm going to take the right hand just underneath the nose. Let that left arm go to the ceiling. To the sky. We've got a twist, opening up that whole left side body and reverse. Left hand comes down and where it goes where the right hand was. Inhale the right hand body. Nice. And then back down. Nice. Left hand to left hip, right hand to right hip. Let's revisit that squat. That yogi squat. An option from here to lift that right heel. And then lower. Lift that left heel. And then lower. An option, if you so desire, lifting both heels. Big challenge, I get that as we hold for 3. That's nice. Almost there for 2. Now eventually I want to lower the heels, re-straighten the legs. Okay. This back, whatever that back foot is, maybe it's the right or left, sweep it back up to the front of the mat, mountain pose, top of the mat. You need to do a little shimmy that out a bit. Yeah. Find ourselves to that stalwart posture, that's strength and resiliency in that mountain pose. Picture in your mind's eye, just having left a month, a couple 8 or 10 days ago, the western part of Austria with these beautiful alpine mountains, beautiful Alps in the background, tree cover where we were, but also in the distance, the And, above the tree line, the crack, the rocky outlines of the higher peaks of moving more towards the Italy side of the mountain range. So if your toes lift, all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then I'm going to try to take the eight toes and keep the 8 toe lifted. I'm going to try to keep them toes lifted, but the other 8 toe pad grounded. That's really hard for me. Might be easier for you as we hold for 3. And it's working on the foundation, working on the flexibility of the feet for 2. Now, nose relax. Yeah. Feet relax. All right, weight to that left foot. I'm going to come onto the top of my right foot. So I'm purposely getting a nice stretch to that right ankle, the top of that right foot, all the connective tissue, all the ligaments and tendons and the metatarsal, the bony structure of that right foot. So I've got all 10 all 5 toenails are pressing into the mat. Getting a nice stretch to the top of that right foot. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Bring it up. Maybe give it a little shake out. Now the right foot is based top of the left foot. All 5 toenails on that left foot are re-engaged or engaged to the that press. Yep. This is we hold here. Check in with the breath. Hello, toes. Hello, top of that left foot for 3. That's nice. Almost there for 2. That one, relax. Again, maybe a little toe wiggle. You should be back to the top of the mat. Guess what? Sweep the arms wide and high. Maybe a little back bend. We'll shine those beautiful hearts. And then we once again swan dive. Flat back, forward fold. Feet fingers around your palms and shins. Let's half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. Nice. Heel toe your feet out towards the edges. Setting up for yogi squat. Nice. Options for yogi squat. I have some, for me, it helps to roll my mat up, place my heels into the mat. That just helps lift the heels a little bit. You can always use the block under the bum as the hands are at the heart center. I'm using my elbows to the inside of each knee. Maybe press those knees in a bit while pressing them out with the elbows as we hold for 3. That's nice breathing into that for 2. Now 1, I'm going to bring the fingertips down. We'll have the opportunity to come into crow pose. I'm using the triceps as a foundation for my knees as I draw my belly into my belly towards my spine, navel towards my spine, and then I see if I can lift off. Nice. So that's a more advanced arm balance, but if you want to just stay in yogi squat, that's an option too, as we hold for 3. Nice, breathing into that for 2. Now eventually coming back to yogi squat. Beautiful. Fingertips to the mat, hips to the ceiling, and let's heel our feet into what is our normal forward fold. These fingers out on top, shins half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. Coming into that toe stand. The regulars will know we come up onto the tiptoes as I bend the knees. Kind of like this version of and if you have something in your midst, a cushion, a table, a cushion, or a clock, switch going on. Hands can come to the heart center if I feel like I'm balanced on the ball's feet. And then left elbow to right thigh. Left elbow to right thigh, which would be a precursor for side crow. Some will come down to side crow. We won't work on that today, but that's for another time. Now back to center. Now it's right elbow to left thigh. Nice. And then back to center. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands to roll onto my bum and lift the legs. If you want to do this without using the hands, feel free into boat pose. So just roll down onto the booty. Straighten the legs for the more advanced, challenging version of boat. Otherwise, hands can come down by the hips. You can always manage by modifying by grabbing the hamstrings. So you have some options as we hold this for 4. Beautiful guys, breathing steady into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Now 1, I'm going to come down halfway. Variation, forearms to the floor. Otherwise, I've got this little canoe posture, this boat pose as we hold for 3. We'll shake and go down almost there for 2. Now 1, I'm going to rise back up. Balancing on that booty. Finding the variation is here we go for 4. All is well, breathing into that for 3. Almost there for 2. Now 1, halfway up. Okay, here we go. Here we go for 4. Relax the throat and the jaw for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Heart on 1, lower all the way down. Yes, let's find morning stretch. At whatever hour it might be for you at this juncture, as you reach arms overhead, toes get point, maybe the feet flex, the wrists rotate, the fingers wiggle. Inhale, lengthen me just a bit more as I exhale. I'm going to draw both knees into the chest. Supine bind. Side to side rock might feel good. Oh, yeah. But eventually, here we go, D&R folks. Sole the feet up forward. Oh, let's reach my hands a little bit to the right side of the mat. Arms around my waist. My right knee fully crosses over my left. I'm going to flip my knees to the left. Gaze is right. Knees to the left. Gaze is right. Some will take that left hand to the top of the right thigh for a little extra range of motion or a little extra nudge. Steady gaze, right elbow, right fingertips. Wonderful opportunity to get full, rich, and deep on the inhale. And you know what I am, I'm such a big fan of that exhale. Maybe that twists you a little deeper as we fold for 3. Breathing steady into that for 2. Nice job, guys. Now 1, let's lead with the hips. Come back to center. The knees will follow. Uncross. Yep. Maybe shaking that out a little bit. Hips a little bit to the left side of the mat. Left knee, you guessed it, fully crosses over the right. Knees float right, gaze is left. A great prop is to float a block or a pillow underneath that outside of that left thigh, that right thigh. Steady gaze, left elbow, left fingertips. Reintroduce that diaphragmatic breath cycle. Feels like your left shoulder blade wants to pop. That's what mine feels like. So I'm going to try to engage that left shoulder blade to the floor. So we hold for 4. A little spinal twist, breathing into that for 3. It's almost there for 2. Nice. Now on 1, the hips come back to center, the knees follow, uncross. Kind of shaking that out again just a bit. All right. Soles of the feet still on the floor. And this is going to feel so simple, but toes lift, heels lift. So shins and calves. You might walk those heels a little closer to the glutes. As you lift the toes, or as you lift the heels, I should say, you might. We had a few students. This happened to me last week. I got into a calf cramp. Let's see if we can just do. If you'd like to engage more of the abs, take that or out of the lumbar. So this is simultaneously happening with the calves and the shins, core as we go for 4. Here's 3, 2, and the 1. Then relax and release as we draw the knees in and find happy baby pose. For me, I have to lift my shoulder blades to the back of it off the mat, but eventually my shoulder blades in the back of it find the surface. You can grab peace fingers around the big toes. You can grab the outer blades of the feet, maybe the ankles. Option is also to grab the shins. Yeah, so here we are in happy baby pose. Hello, inner thighs. Hello, hip flexors. You might find it nice to sway from side to side. I've got some students that go from thigh to thigh. If you feel like your chin is lifting to the ceiling, purposely draw the chin towards the chest and then get this opening as we go for 4. Nice. Breathing steady into that for 3. Nice. Here we go. Almost there for 2. All right, eventually release the binds, soles of feet back to the floor. Okay, for some, it'll feel comfortable to keep the knees bent, taking pressure off the low back. Some will find a on the back version of butterfly pose. Second option, otherwise, right ankle finds the lower right corner of the mat, and left ankle finds the lower left corner of the mat, and we relax into Savasana. If you have a pillow or a blanket folded up, you might want to place it under the head. I've got some students that have firm cushions that place it underneath the knees. Otherwise, we're supine in this position to simply let go. Feeling the full support of your mat, whether your mat is on the floor or on the earth. Sense of being fully supported. We can translate that into the support that we offer others, that we receive from others, the support we find at home, at work, in our extracurricular activities. Where can we offer support? Where can we give support? Let the body just feel heavy in good ways. It's kind of melting into the mat. You can picture yourself on a warm, soft sand, and you're simply kind of creating a little body impression as the body sinks into that warm sand just a bit. Feeling really comfortable, really supported, completely at ease. A few more moments, please. Okay, here we go, D&R Yoga, folks. I'm going to suggest we move anything. Fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. If you'd like to take the tongue to the roof of the mouth, if you'd like to wiggle the ears, snap the fingers, move the head from side to side. The legs have been bent, you can straighten. If they've been straight, you can bend them. But eventually, we'll allow the last bind of the practice, this version of D&R Yoga, to happen as we draw the knees back into the chest. There's somebody in your midst, there we go, they can press on their shins. That's kind of, especially on the exhale, to maybe deepen this range of motion. Some students feel like they want to float to their favorite side. It may be right side or left side. It's a fetal position. If that works for you, absolutely. If you'd rather stay on your back, that's another option. Back to the purpose of this practice, the design for this session. The idea that, yes, we discover new ways to love, to be loved, self-love. Eventually, we'll press up to seated. We really didn't do a formal seated posture today, so I'm going to come onto this meditation cushion that lifts my hips a little bit, draws my knees down a smidge. You can certainly revisit a seated version of butterfly pose, or let the legs come out straight. I've got a few students that like to sit on the knees. So let's take a moment to reset, recalibrate, realign. Big fan of that prefix re, R-E. All is well. To draw the hands back to the heart center. Just a gentle reminder, you'll hear me reference several of these mantras on occasion, that your breath and the body are always, even though I'm trying to use the word always too much in my vocabulary, in this context, it's true. The breath and the body are always in the present moment. It is the mind that has a tendency to wander and ruminate on last week or project into tomorrow morning. And here's your opportunity to stay in this moment. An opportunity for me to express deep thanks, closing in that traditional fashion, sealing the practice with this. Please know the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit that dwells within me, indeed, with a bunch of gratitude, hopefully a mindset and a heart set towards discovering more ways to love myself and love others. Bows to the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit within each of you guys. Namaste. Hey, good job, guys. You know, it's got me some, in chat. I'm so grateful for you guys.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.